Bonjour, hi, hola, ciao. My name is Dominic. Je m'appelle Domenico. Me llamo Domenico. Mi chiamo Domenico. English, French, Italian, Spanish. So I'm 21, born and raised here in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease about 2 months ago. And this is gonna be my story pretty much. So quick recap. Got diagnosed 2 months ago. I had really bad stomach pain, did an ultrasound. They found an abscess in my small intestines. Went to the hospital, St. Mary's Hospital in Côte-des-Neiges. Shout out them, they're the best. And what they did, they just put a little catheter to where the abscess was. They drained it 4 or 5 days. I was there, in and out, boom, I was fine. The GI followed me, he called me, said you have some scarring. We might need surgery, we might try like some biologics, like Humira type medication. We'll see. If you have a fever or anything, come back and then see me. Turns out I had a fever, had to go back, and then that's a whole other story that we'll get into right now. So that's a quick recap. I was in the hospital for a month, lost 20 pounds. This is my journey to gain the weight back. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. So, like I said, they discharged me after I had my first little catheter, and I was fine for about 2 weeks. I was living normal life. Italy had won the Euros, which I was super happy about because I'm half Italian, half Canadian. So Forza Azzurri, it was such a happy day. But unfortunately, on that same day is when I had my first fever. But I was at my friend's house, so I was like, whatever, I didn't take my temperature. Then I was fine the next day. And then the following day after that, I had another fever. I was at home, we measured it, it was like 101 or something. So I had to go back to the hospital this time for real. Went back to the ER, said I have Crohn's, I had an abscess, I have a fever. They told me to come back to the ER right away. So I spent the night in the ER. The next day they moved me back to the 6th floor, which is a surgery floor. And both times I stayed there, I was the youngest patient by far. Like everybody, even my roommates were like old, like 60, 70, but they were really nice. But old people have a special talent of being able to fall asleep whenever they want. And just at a certain age, I guess, you just start snoring automatically. But luckily during my stay the second time, which I was in there for a month because I had emergency ileostomy surgery, which actually pretty much saved my life because one day went in there laparoscopically. That's about the only good news you'll hear this whole video. I don't have a huge scar, but I do have now an ileostomy, which is basically you poo basically from a bag. So I'll show you that now. So warning, 3, 2, 1. It's just a little bag here, you know, you poop through there and then you just drain it a couple times a day, no big deal. So yeah, that saved my life essentially because when they went in there and all the cameras and stuff, they're like, oh shit, this is like way worse than we thought. There's like another abscess that the CT didn't show and that was about to burst at any moment, and they said like if we waited a few more days for the surgery, that could have burst, and then since an abscess is basically a formation of liquid that is infected, that infection could have spread to the rest of my intestinal tract and even like up to my heart and stuff. So basically let's just consider that a life-saving surgery. I was also born at St. Mary's, fun fact, and my parents, basically I'm a miracle baby because they tried really hard for 5 years, ew, like whatever, for 5 years, and then my mom finally got pregnant. When I was born purple color because I had the umbilical cord wrapped around not just my neck, like my entire body, like my chest. So I was not breathing when I was born, and the surgeons were like talking to my mom, all happy, push, whatever. Then he said, now let's not play games, push right now, your baby is purple, you have to get him out. And then they did CPR on me, and then I started crying, and I haven't stopped making noise ever since. As you could tell, I love talking, sometimes a little too much, but I guess it's good that I'm doing YouTube now. So yeah, sorry, that's a sidetrack. Back to my hospital stay now, my second hospital stay. So like I said, I had the emergency ileostomy surgery. And I was doing fine. The day after, I was walking, talking, really literally feeling normal. In hindsight, that was probably the morphine tab that I was taking. I was allowed every 5 minutes to press a button. I didn't abuse it that much, like maybe once every 20-30 minutes. But then the following day, I was fine too, eating normal food, the bag was working, everything seemed great. Then things took a turn for the worse and the very bad. Basically, I took a shower that night I was sitting down, right? I was showering myself. My dad helped me. I'm grateful for my parents during the whole stay. They really helped me out, and the nurses too. But yeah, I got up from that shower and I had the worst back pain ever, like lower back, pelvic area. And that's for a reason. Actually, I did another CT scan the following day, and they found that the surgery, whatever, there was a formation of liquid, and that got infected. So another abscess, yay, and it was in my pelvic area, but you can't go in through the front because of the bones. So what they had to do, they had to put a catheter through the back of my upper right butt area, and go all the way to the front, and that was not fun. But that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part is yet to come, because then my ileum stopped working. Basically what that is in your like intestinal tract, your intestines, they have to like basically contract to pass the food. And when you get intubated for surgery, it can happen during any surgery, knee surgery, whatever. When you're put to sleep, your muscles and whatever muscles and your what's the word now? I can't think. Your organs basically fall asleep, and sometimes you need like a little break for them to restart, and that's what happened to me. And the solution for the ileum not working is basically an NG tube, a nasogastric tube. So that's just a little tube that they put, a little tube, I'll get to that in a second. A tube that they put down your nose that goes through your throat to your stomach, and basically that sucks up all this stuff from your stomach, because once your ileum starts working, you start throwing up, which I did, and then that's a sign like, oh, we need to put the NG tube. And now this was the worst part of my entire hospital stay, getting the tube down, because I have allergies, seasonal allergies, and I take a nose spray because my nostrils are very inflamed, and I have a deviated septum, which basically means like I broke my nose when I was younger or whatever, and now one of your nostrils is bigger than the other because you have a deviated septum. So that combination made it extremely hard for the nurses to put the NG tube down. So they first tried to put it in the right side, then that didn't work, then the left side, that didn't work. Then, being the persistent nurses that they are, they're like, no, we have to get it in. They did the right side again, didn't work. They did the left side again, didn't work. And then they're like, it's just not possible. My noses are way too inflamed. They couldn't even get it past my nose to go down my throat. And you guys think a COVID swab is bad? I'm imagining you guys have probably done at least one COVID swab or not, but for those of you know, it's very uncomfortable. Now imagine a tube going down your nose, then your throat, and then into your stomach. But I haven't even gone to my throat yet. What they had to do was order a special NG tube, a pediatric one, so basically a children's, like a smaller size, from the children's hospital or wherever. They got it shipped to St. Mary's. Once it came, they tried again with the smaller tube. Right side first, didn't work, but this time they got a little bit further. They got it to my throat, and it's very uncomfortable because it's your gag reflex. So when they put it down, you're supposed to have like sips of water so that you're swallowing to make it easier, but I couldn't do that. It really didn't work. So they tried the right nostril, didn't work. The left nostril didn't work, and they're like, this is not working. They got it to my throat, but they couldn't get it more further down to the stomach where it needs to go. So then one of the nurses, Jessica, had a great idea, and I mean this sincerely, like a really good idea, to put it in the freezer for like 10-15 minutes so that the plastic tube can harden up so that she could just shove it down way easier. So that's exactly what they did. 20 minutes later, they came back, and then I was mentally preparing like, oh, okay, this is actually gonna happen now. This is gonna suck, and it did suck big time. That was the worst thing I experienced in my entire hospital stay. Like I said, worse than the first abscess drain that I mentioned in my first hospital stay, worse than the second hospital stay. It was just the worst thing ever. So like I said, COVID swab times 1,000, okay, times 10. Then your throat, your gag reflex is going, and then they finally get it down to my stomach. And it was horrible. I was like tearing up, gagging, and she didn't care. She had to do her job and just get it to the stomach so that I can stop throwing up. And she finally did. And I'm not gonna lie, that was the worst week of my life. I had it for 7 days. It was so uncomfortable. every time you swallow, you have like a little gag reflex. It's just annoying. And then things got even worse because I took Tylenol and that upset my stomach and I threw up. So you think throwing up is bad normally? Well, now you have a tube in your throat that basically forces your gag reflex. So you're throwing up, and then you have the tube that touches your throat gag reflex while you're throwing up. So it's like a vicious cycle, and after 5 minutes I finally stopped to breathe, but when you swallow it's still annoying. Anyways, you get used to it after a few days, but sometimes I was just in so much pain and not feeling really good, and my mental health was in a decline for that week, that I would just stay in bed and get up, go for a little walk, like 5-10 minutes, and just lay in bed, take my Dilaudid, which is basically a morphine cousin for painkillers, and just lay there resting, watching Netflix. Thank God we have Netflix now, because I don't know what I would have done without Netflix. I binge watched Atypical and some movies, so at least that brought me some joy. But I'm not afraid to admit, during that week I was feeling really shitty. Even thinking about it now, it's like, holy shit, like it was so bad. I was sleeping only a few hours a night. I had this one crazy nightmare where it was like a lucid dream nightmare, which makes it worse because you're awake and you're having a nightmare and you're like, why can't I wake up? This is crazy. Finally woke up, I rang the nurses. I cried a few times that week, maybe more than a few times. But I'm really thankful for the nurses at St. Mary's, honestly. When my parents weren't there, which they were there every minute that they could, from 8 to 8, and then we even got a special extension because I needed them to like help me fall asleep till 10. When they weren't there, the nurses took super great care of me, so I'm really thankful. Thankful for the surgeons too, who saved my life and did a great surgery laparoscopically. Like I said, that's the good news. I don't have a huge scar. And now, once they took the tube out, or actually, funny story, I took the tube out myself by sneezing, because remember I have allergies. What? Shoot, it just fell out after 50 times I was sneezing.
Here, let's look at the garbage can. It's proof.
Because remember I have allergies, so one morning I was sitting down and I was holding my my side here because I have stitches, right? And it hurts when you sneeze because you're contracting your muscles. And I had a sneezing fit, 10-15 sneezes in a row, no joke. I was here like this, and because of the gravity, right, if you're like this, then G-tube stays, but if you're bent like this, sneezing, and the tape that's holding it together is getting not as tight because of you're sneezing, and there's like mucus, I guess. After my like 15th sneeze in a row, but I said, the tube came out, I sneezed it out, I swear I didn't take it out. She's like, yeah, it's okay, I believe you, I heard you, and my mom was there too to witness. She told the doctor, they said it's fine, we were gonna take it out anyways. So once the tube was out, I was so happy. I told them even the day before, once this tube is out, I'm gonna be walking, I'm gonna be doing so much better, and I did. I still had the tube in my like right butt area for the abscess I mentioned earlier, and that got taken out a few days after the tube got taken out. But I swear, as soon as the tube got taken out, my mental health was on the upwards. I snapped out of it. I was walking. My friend came to visit me the day after. I had another friend come visit me the day after. And those are all posted on my TikTok, by the way. I started TikTok in the hospital because I was bored at 4 a.m. awake, couldn't sleep, and I'm like, let me start a TikTok. So at DonaldBoss19, go show some love. I don't know what this YouTube page is called yet, but I guess you'll figure it out. My Instagram too, dom.albano19. Links will be in bio, I guess. I can't believe I'm saying that. I sound like such a YouTuber, like douchebag, but I guess that's who I am now. So yeah, that's basically my story. After the tubes came out, I felt a lot better. I got discharged yesterday. first day home. I slept 4 hours, which is an improvement, not a lot, but it was in my own bed. I was so happy. Canadians women's soccer team won gold today. I'm a soccer player, I'm an athlete, high level my whole life. Tennis, badminton, soccer. Still play soccer for fun now in senior men's Division 3 with some of my best friends and my new friends that I've made over the past couple of years at soccer. I'm gonna take it easy, obviously, while I recover, because I did lose 20 pounds during this whole 2 months. I was 130, I'm 5'6.5", 5'7", 5'8" on Tinder, of course. But yeah, now I just need to really focus on regaining my weight, regaining my strength. And this ileostomy, my stoma bag, like, it still hurts a bit because of the stitches underneath the skin, but in a month or two, like, it'll be fine. I could run, I could play sports. It honestly saves me time during the day, because I would go to the bathroom a few times a day, right? And be on TikTok for like 20 minutes or whatever. Now I have to concentrate doing the bag. It takes like 2 minutes. So that actually saves me time during the day. And now I can make TikToks instead of watching them. So like I said, go show some love. If you're even mildly interested in this long story I had, please like, follow, share. Well, I can't believe I'm saying that. Subscribe, follow me on TikTok, Instagram, links in bio. I'd appreciate any support along the way, and if not, whatever, I guess I'm doing this more for myself anyways. I'll be spamming my YouTube with my TikToks just to have them somewhere backed up, I guess, too. And I'll be doing food reviews, so I already have cheesy names for it. The Crohn's Critic Food Reviews. Episode 1 is posted on TikTok. So go check that out. Sorry for that. But I guess it's a good thing. Everything is working if I'm burping, and so that's good. I also did a food review series episode, like hospital edition, a hospital food, which is not so good, but you can imagine after 7 days of having an NG tube in your throat and not eating or drinking anything. And by the way, I had a PICC line put in. I still have the bandage. And basically what a PICC line is when you're have an NG tube, you need to have your vitamins and your nutrients. So the only way they can do it is by putting a PICC line in. It's just like a little plastic tube that goes through your veins all the way to your heart. And I didn't know it went to your heart until the day they took it out. I don't know why she told me that, the nurse. She's like, oh, they're gonna take it out, but just, yeah, it goes from the heart to here and they just take it out. And I was like, why did you tell me that? I thought it just went to my vein, but no, whatever. But the procedure to take it out was literally a second and I didn't even feel it. And that's also on my TikTok. The resident who did it was wearing Yeezy, so I was like, nice shoes, so I called her the Yeezy doctor. But yeah, once that PICC line was out, I was hashtag like tubeless. First time in weeks. That's on my TikTok. And that was the last thing I did. After that, I got discharged that day, which was yesterday. Today I'm home for the first day. Like I said, I'm gonna start this YouTube now that I have time. Now I'm just gonna rest up. I have to do a couple things for my work and get back into the groove of things. I had breakfast. Now I'm gonna watch a movie, relax, have some food later. And yeah, I just gotta eat now. Have a UFC event coming up tomorrow. I'm gonna go to my friend's house. I'm a huge UFC fan.
What?
join the party with the boys. Let's go. Hey, let's go. The boys are back in town. Let's get this dub in Warzone. Let's go. Pop some pain meds before the game. Alright, game time. Serious face. First kill back. Let's go. Thank you, bro. What the fuck, Ed? Shopping, food reviews, also cooking channel, hopefully. The Crohn's critic tackles the kitchen. I suck at cooking, but hopefully I'll get better. Also videos in English, French, parce que comme j'ai dit, je suis né ici à Montréal. Je suis parfaitement bilingue, j'ai fait du street fundraising.
Yo! Dude, holy shit!
You see that?
Ici à Montréal pour Doctors Without Borders, Médecins Sans Frontières, UNICEF et tout ça. Alors si je peux convaincre quelqu'un de me donner la carte de crédit direct avec moi avec une tablette, je vais dire que mon français il est assez bien. So yeah, just for those of you who don't speak French, like I did fundraising for Doctors Without Borders and stuff like that in English and in French, y también en español un poquito porque yo soy mito italiano, mito. Hola a todos, ¿qué tal? Estoy aquí con mi mejor amigo David. ¿Qué pasó, David?
Hola, ¿qué tal?
Hoy es un buen día. Adiós. A la próxima. I say like half Italian, half I say Canadian, but like on my mom's side I'm a quarter Jewish by blood, French from France, Hungary, American, a whole mix. So I just say I'm Canadian on my mom's side because she was born here too, and Italian calabrese, forza. I nonni sono calabresi, sono venuto qui. That's it. So videos in Spanish, English, franglais, which is like the unofficial language of Montreal. And that's about it. Like, follow, share, subscribe. TikTok, DomboBoss19, Instagram, DomDarabano19, links in bio. Welcome to my page, follow my journey. Hopefully I'll be back at the soccer field in no time. Thank you guys, I guess that's it. See you soon, bye.